So our topic is on abortion and when is a baby and when it's protected by its unalienable rights. My name is William and this is Isaiah. We're on the affirmative side and we're trying to give those embryos the right to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. So our first argument is as soon as the embryo is fertilized, it starts to develop the full DNA code of a human being. So if the embryo code has a full DNA, he or she is already starting to become its own person. And who are we to take away that helpless human being? We wouldn't do that to somebody in a home, somebody older who needs help. They're still protected by their rights. Just because they're helpless doesn't change that. The baby should be protected as a normal human, and it has a right to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness.
Our next argument, when exactly is a baby born? Some people believe, when exactly is a baby? Some people believe it's at the time of conception or when it is able to survive on its own without its mother. That, for us, it's just not the case. It's, as soon as it is fertilized, like William said earlier, it develops the full DNA code, and that it should be able to have the same inalienable rights as anybody. Because, like William said, you can't just take a life. It's just not cool.
Our third argument is what is the difference between an embryo and a little baby? So a little baby is already outside of the mother, and when the baby is outside of the mother, it's still very helpless and defenseless, but it's still protected by those rights. What's the difference between that baby being outside the mother and the baby being inside the mother and that baby not being protected by its rights?
Well, a baby is not a baby until, on our side, we are the opposition of William and Isaiah. And during the first trimester, the embryo lacks the nervous system, a brain, emotions, and all of the other requirements for it being a baby. And it was stated in the landmark 1973 Roe v. Wade decision, the Supreme Court ruled that abortion is constitutional. The woman should have the right to do what it is that she feels like she wants to do with her body, based on the 9th Amendment and on the 14th Amendment rights. So the woman should have the liberty to do whatever it is that she wants to with her body if she feels that she cannot support that baby. And there are already too many kids in foster care. Bringing a kid unwanted is wrong. Bringing more and is not going to help at all. Bringing an unwanted child is just morally wrong, we believe. Women are alive and they have the rights. Therefore, she has the right to do what she wants with her body.
My name is Carl Moreno, and I'm in the position of them, William and Isaiah. And well, a baby should not come into the world that if he is unwanted, abortion should be happen because women could do whatever they want with their body. For example, like in the 14th and 9th Amendment, it says that they should protect, it protects the rights. And a woman feels that she could not handle a baby, the baby should not be born. Most of the time, fetuses don't feel the pain when the abortion is performed, and during the first trimester.
Yeah, and also just by making abortion illegal does not mean it is not going to happen. It will still happen inevitably, and the only thing that will change is there will be people that will be having abortions illegally and unsafe, therefore putting the woman's life in more danger than it already is by giving abortion and such. So yeah, those are our counters for William and mine and Isaiah.
We see on the bottom, all right?
Okay, so what you were saying in the first trimester when it doesn't have a nervous system or emotions, during the first trimester the baby actually does have brain activity. And like I said before, with the brain activity and the full genetics of a human being, just because it's helpless, it doesn't separate it from me and you. If you're protected to your life, liberty, and pursuit of happiness, how come that life is taken before it gets the chance to do anything with it? Imagine if Steve Jobs was in abortions, where would we be right now? If he never got the chance to do what he had to do.
I'm arguing what Carmen said about just baby not being unwanted. Just because the baby is unwanted does not mean that they can just take its life. a baby or any person is allowed to live and allowed to pursue happiness. Let's just say he grew up to be a doctor or grew up to be like find out the cure for cancer. You can't just stop somebody wanting to live just because they feel unwanted. They're allowed to be able to pursue happiness regardless if they're wanted or not. They're allowed to pursue their dreams and make something of themselves or possibly further civilization.
Well, you put it that way, what about if a baby grows up in a bad neighborhood and becomes a criminal?
Well, yeah, so I believe in a situation like this, the woman has the right and say so to her body, and if she feels like she cannot bring up this baby in a nice and safe community or in a safe way, or she might be a single parent or went through something like, per se, rape or something that she is not proud of, and she feels that she doesn't want to deal with that, and she just feels that she cannot raise a baby the way two parents would. If the single mother feels that it is best for her to abort the baby during the first trimester when it was discussed, like I said, in the Supreme Court, then I believe that, the girl has the right to do whatever it is that she wants with that fetus, and that's pretty much what I have to say. How about your argument?
To counter that, if a woman feels she's unfit to raise that baby, if she feels she's unfit to handle those adult responsibilities, then she shouldn't be making those adult decisions. But like you said, it's protected by the 9th and 14th Amendment. That's a very valid argument. But as we're saying, nobody should be unwanted for babies.
Also, on the case of rape or incest, I have a question for you. Did that baby rape the mother?
No, it did not.
Well, then why should we take this?
It's not really considered a life.
But it is.
So it's what we don't consider it. Not really. And it's pretty much, it's not considered a baby until it's actually born.
So you just consider it as healthy.
So I have to interject here. You guys had your chance to rebut all at once, so we're not going to have the back and forth here. So, but what I will do is throw out to the class here, if there's anyone here that would like to pose a question to any of the sides here, just raise your hand.
So you keep your hand down, right? No, raise it. Raise it.
You got a question, Brandon? All right, let's give him a hand.